Tony Nolan is the product of a prostitute, an abusive childhood in foster care, and a failed suicide attempt. He is also an active advocate for adoption and one of the most amazing evangelists I've ever had the privilege of hearing speak. I had the privilege of hearing him speak at Winter Jam 2015, which was my first time ever hearing about him. He's not very well known. He is passionate, he is a great leader, and he's a great example of overcoming hardships. Tony Nolan was born to a prostitute here in Jacksonville, Florida. She was selling her body on the street to survive, and shortly after she had him, he was about 3 years old, she was admitted into a mental health facility, and he was placed into foster care. As he was in foster care, he was abused, he was molested, he was burned, and he was beaten. His foster father was so abusive, and he once told him that he was not worth the $200 that he paid for him, and it stuck with him for a very long time. In February 24th of 1989, he attempted suicide, and it was a failed attempt. And when he woke up, he decided that something had to change in his life. So he went to a Bible study with his stepbrother where he accepted Christ, and he said that he heard God speak to him and say that your dad said he regretted spending $200 on you, but I have never regretted purchasing you with the priceless blood of my son. So he accepted Christ into his heart, and he allowed God to change him. By allowing God to change him, he became a passionate person. He dedicated his life to helping people. He spent years as an evangelical pastor for Winter Jam, which is a Christian concert that comes once a year, and they don't pre-sell tickets. It's $10 at the door, and they have it downtown, so usually there's a line all through downtown, and he's a pastor for several groups that are on that tour. He's traveled to over 220 countries across the United States and all over the world. He's also an advocate and a public speaker for Holt International, which is an adoption agency that specializes in overseas adoptions. And he himself actually adopted a daughter through Holt International. His passion flows into every aspect of his life, which allows him to be a great leader. He graduated from Criswell College, which is a college that specializes in helping people prepare their lives for full-time ministry. And he served as a pastor to the college students and to the singles there. He's also led several people to Christ, hundreds of thousands of people. He serves as a pastor at Freedom Church in Atworth, Georgia, and he also serves as a pastor at Southcrest Church in Noonan, Georgia. Over the last 5 years that he has been the guest speaker for Winter Jam, he has led over 400,000 public professions to Christ. In the year 2000, he founded his own ministry. It's called TNT Ministries with his wife, Tammy. So basically, to sum it all up, because Tony Nolan surrendered his life to God and allowed God to help him overcome his hardships, he's now an awesome leader, and he has dedicated his life to helping others. And a memorable quote that he said is, "Because everybody will spend forever somewhere, let's work together and help them spend it in heaven." Thank you for listening. This is my audience.